friends, and welcome to Yoga for Writers. My name is Sarah Nelson. I'm a yoga therapist and yoga teacher in Portland, Oregon. And this series, this three-part series, was a collaboration with Robin Woods of Robin Woods Fiction. If you haven't read her books or didn't find me via her blog, definitely find her blog linked below, where in my posts I talk a little bit about each of these practices and why we're doing what we're doing. There are 3 practices, 7 to 10 minute videos: Yoga for Writers Rest, Yoga for Writers Release, and Yoga for Writers Refresh. So I've got a little something for whatever you need. And of course, these practices would be great for anyone who spends a lot of time at a computer, whether that person is going into an office or working from home. Learn more about me linked below. If you enjoy these practices, you might love my Yoga for Bed free 3-part course. Very similar 10-minute practices, only these ones can be done entirely from bed. So I hope you enjoy these. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Yoga for Writers Release. In this practice, we will focus on releasing some of the muscles that tend to tense up when we spend a lot of time in the same position, seated, probably writing on a computer, maybe writing by hand, still causes tension. And just a brief practice to help release some of those muscles. All you need for this practice is a chair. We will do it seated in a chair, although the beginning stuff you could certainly do sitting on the floor if you chose. And a tennis ball, any sort of ball. If you don't have a ball, you can use a can of food. So like a can of beans or a can of corn or something. So we are sitting on the chair, but you're going to do it a little more mindfully than perhaps you do it when you're writing. So I encourage you to come towards the edge of the seat of the chair and then maybe rock a little side to side. See if you can feel your sitting bones kind of pushing down onto the chair. And you might feel them and you might not. It's all good. Then I'll have you think about your feet pressing down into the earth. And just quickly noticing, where in your body are you holding a little tension today? I am going to take my glasses off and set them to the side just for this first little bit, which is giving our faces a little love. So one of the places you might not expect to hold some tension, but maybe do, is in your jaw. So taking your hands to either side of your jaw and using your fingers to just kind of give a little rub. Maybe you tap, so just tapping with your fingertips. It's gentle. Let your jaw feel relaxed, so your teeth are not touching here. Your tongue is relaxed. These little taps can come up towards your temples and your forehead, down the bridge of your nose, around your eye sockets. So just gently tapping all over your face, wherever it feels good. Inviting these muscles to relax. Oh, look, I've gone up into my scalp. Once I start tapping, it's hard to stop. So give your scalp perhaps a nice tapping. Finishing up by giving your earlobes a gentle squeeze, maybe a little bit of a tug. Releasing as you're ready. I'm going to put my glasses back on. Take a moment. Notice how that feels. We'll do a little cat-cow. You're probably familiar with cat-cow. I'll turn to the side so you can see my spine, but you don't need to turn to the side. On your inhale, the pelvis tips forward, your heart comes forward, your gaze comes up a bit. Exhale, we round. And just move back and forth between those two shapes. Try and move with your breath. Exhaling to round, inhaling to come up. The next time you inhale, come back to center. And then let's roll the shoulders 3 times up and back. If when you roll your shoulders, you get a lot of like crackling noise, we'll roll them now 3 times forward. I invite you to try out moving within a range of motion where you don't get the noise in your shoulders. And that might seem impossible at first, like it would be the tiniest movement. In my experience, I used to have really crackly shoulders, and when I started really small without any noise, I now can have a much bigger range of motion without the crackles. So you might try that. Let's rotate the torso around. Getting the low back, the hips. Reverse direction. Nice. Come to center. Let your left ear come down towards the left shoulder. You're not trying to touch it. You'd have to lift your shoulder in order to do that. So just relax the shoulder, relax the head and neck. You can play around with where your gaze is. So if you look down, that's going to be a different stretch than if you look up. Be gentle with your neck. In fact, maybe you take your left fingers and give the right side of your neck a little tapping. Inhale brings you to center. Exhale over to the other side. Maybe some gentle tapping. Coming to center. Let's give our arms and wrists a little love. So left arm comes along. Let your fingers come down. Right hand comes and just pulls the fingers back a little bit. So this is kind of what it looks like. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. We just released our faces. Nice. Release. Side 2. Make sure you're breathing. Release. Let's reach for that tennis ball. So it might seem counterintuitive if you're sitting all day to release your feet, but it's not, because everything, as you know, is connected. And so it starts down with the soles of your feet. So if you have shoes on, set them to the side. You could have socks or bare feet. Like I said, any sort of ball or can of food would work. I'm just gonna start rolling the sole of my foot all the way from the heel to the toes, the inner arch and the outer. Think about sitting up straight. Sometimes I want to watch my foot. You don't need to. We will release the ball or whatever you're using. Let both feet be flat down and notice any difference in right to left. Not just your feet, but maybe all the way up your body. You might feel one side feels a little more open. You might not, and that's fine too. We'll do the other foot. You might notice one foot is more tense than the other. If you find really sensitive spots on the sole of your foot, you will just back off, be real gentle. No need to cause any irritation. Get those inner arches, the outer. And you could do this. You could keep rolling your feet for as long as you want. When you're ready, both feet come to the floor. Notice how the feet feel. Notice how your body feels. Thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga for Writers release. Make sure you check out the other videos in the series, Yoga for Writers Refresh, where we bring our energy up a bit, and Rest, where we bring our energy down. Thanks so much.